What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to tell you how to go from 0 to 500 subscribers. And if you follow everything that I tell you, you'll be able to achieve this. And how do I know? Because I was able to do it myself. So I have my handy dandy iPad today, and I'm going to be looking at the bullet points that I wrote down. And I'm just going to start the video right now. So the first thing you want to do if you want to get 500 subscribers is learn YouTube SEO. So if you don't know what YouTube SEO is, it's just the act of optimizing your videos by understanding what search phrases people are looking for and including them in specific places of your video in order to rank for a term when people are searching for it. And I have a way more in-depth video about YouTube SEO if you want to learn how to do YouTube SEO. So go to the link in the description or in the comment section and you'll be able to find a full video on YouTube SEO that will help you. But essentially, the more that you optimize your videos, the more that you'll show up in the search results on YouTube. And the more, obviously if you have a good thumbnail, the more people will click on your thumbnail. And then after you get clicks to your thumbnail, the more views you'll get to your videos. So the whole goal is to get that visibility in search in order to get in order to grow your YouTube channel. The next thing you want to do is live stream. Nobody talks about the power of live streaming. Live streaming is so important. And to be honest, I would say that live streaming is probably what allowed me to grow the fastest. And I think it's because a lot of people see my videos. This would probably be the same case for you. Majority of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed to me. But I noticed that when I'm live streaming, they have the chance to ask me any question that they want. And because I'm answering their questions, they have a higher likelihood of subscribing, especially if I say, hey, if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It will help me out a lot. Plus, I can answer all the questions that you want. If I do this, I'll go live every Friday or whatever. You just sort of like figure out what works for your schedule when you can go live. But a lot of people will subscribe to you if they think your content is valuable. And it's easy to get them to do that through a live stream. So live streaming is super important. But not only that, live streaming is also a ranking factor. When you include your keyword in your live stream, a lot of the times, if you go look at the search results, you'll be ranking #1 for whatever that keyword is. And it's because that's the freshest content available. And YouTube is always looking at what's the newest content versus what's the oldest, what's most relevant, what answers the person's question, and what's helping the people ultimately, right? So that is one of the things that I think is a non-negotiable because it helped me grow so much. And honestly, if you go look at, there's YouTubers that you can see examples of this. Like, if you go look at Chris Palmer on YouTube, he's an SEO. He has 12,000 subscribers, and literally majority of his videos are live streams. I think he just recently stopped doing live streams as much as he used to, but majority of his videos are live streams, and he's been able to grow pretty fast. So definitely live streaming. The next thing is Facebook groups, right? So not just like going into a Facebook group and just posting all your content in a Facebook group, because people are typically going to think that you're spammy and then you'll get kicked out of the Facebook group. So that's not what I want you to do. Instead, what I want you to do is I want you, and it's not that I don't want you to post content. It's just a specific way that you have to go about posting the content in order for it to look more authentic and genuine as opposed to spammy and people thinking that you're a spammer. So what I want you to do is, #1, I want you to find the groups that resonate with your ideal user, right? Once you find those Facebook groups, what you then need to do is you want to create videos specifically for that Facebook group. So not videos that's pulled from your YouTube channel that you're like re-uploading, or not videos that you're creating on YouTube and then adding the link and telling people, hey, go subscribe. Like, that's not what you want to do. You want to create content specifically for that Facebook group. And, you can mention your name in there, like, hey, my name is Drayshawn Ryan. And then you can like put that in, bolded letters or whatever that makes your name stand out. But once you do that, you want to keep doing that. Like, do 15 videos like that. Allow people to see the value that you can offer to them. Eventually, they'll get familiar with your name. And once they get familiar with your name, they'll start to look you up by themselves. But in addition to that, if you are doing this and you are adding value, then eventually you might be able to sneak a couple of YouTube videos in that Facebook group if the admins see that you're providing a lot of value to the group. And that's what I did for some of my videos, right? Like, I specifically made videos for a Facebook group, and then once I start to get a little bit known in that Facebook group, answering questions and so on, I started to then add some links to my videos, and nobody nobody said anything. They let me rock with it. So you should do that. Another thing that you have to do is guest appearances. So even if your channel is small, like reach out to your friends who have a YouTube channel. Obviously, if it's within the same target audience, reach out to a bunch of different people and try to get on their platforms, because that's what I did. You know, I used to collab with a friend of mine named Andrew West. He had significantly more subscribers than me at the time. He doesn't make content anymore. I collabed with Cynthia. I collabed with Cynthia Sandoval, if you don't know who she is, but you can go look her up. I collabed with Nick Schulander. Like, I collabed with a whole bunch of different people who I knew had a YouTube channel that would be okay with collabing with me, and that helped me grow as well. Even if my channel was bigger than some of theirs, or you know, smaller, like, it still helped me regardless. And so I think that you definitely want to be collabing with friends and other people that is relevant to you. And then also consistency, right? Like, this is a thing that we're always going to hear, but consistency, and consistency, super important. So as long as you're staying consistent, as long as you're following the things that I just told you about, you'll be able to achieve the results that you want. Also, another thing that I'll say as well is making sure, like, this is something that is overstated, but I feel like it's very necessary to overstate. Making sure that your thumbnail is optimized. And I'm actually going through a little challenge, or not challenge, but like a creative, like, testing phase where I'm trying different thumbnails, because some thumbnails work better than others. Like, one of my favorite types of thumbnails to create is like very moody looking. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of like Becky and Chris, but if you look at their YouTube channel, I love that aesthetic, right? However, you know, I also am aware that things that look like that tend to not really do well for clicks, unless, you know, they already are big, so it's working for them. But it's, you know, typically you want to have colors that pop out and things that like make people want to click and look kind of clickbaity and all that stuff. And that's something that I wasn't doing before that I'm going to be doing moving forward to grow my channel. But it's something that I highly suggest that you do as well, because I've seen it work for a bunch of different YouTube channels. Making sure that you have like popping colors like yellow or like a light blue, right? And making sure that you don't give away too much in your thumbnail. Like, you don't want to say, you don't want your thumbnail and the title of your video to be the same thing, right? Like, you want your title of your video to be your title of your video, and then your thumbnail to make it a little bit mysterious. Like, maybe you can have like an emoji in your video, or you could have like question marks, right? Like, something that doesn't give away what you're trying to say, but that makes people want to click, right? And so if you stick with these tips that I just gave you today, you will definitely grow your YouTube channel from 0 to 500 subscribers, because this is all stuff that I did, and all I did was stay consistent. And now I have content that's evergreen, that's constantly getting me more subscribers for whatever reason. So, you know, stick with that. And if you do that, you'll be able to achieve the desired outcome that you're looking for. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.